If you will thus then now, please display chart number 2. You will see the differences that have been made in this chart are representative of a few different things. You will see that in the central square, the left side has been blackened in and labeled with the letter A. This will represent the present person. In this case, it's a male because it's on the left. If it had been colored in on the right, it would be a female in present incarnation. If it had been colored in that small center square, you would know it is neither male nor female, but other. So we begin there. And you can see immediately to one side a small blue line. Each of the small squares, the tiny grid that is overlaid upon this chart, has been adjusted in this particular example to represent 10-year increments. It can be any increment at all. And it can vary from time to time, all the way even down to minutes and seconds, days, weeks, months, years, centuries. It can be adjusted in any way, shape, or form you so desire, depending upon the chart you are creating. But for now, in this example, we will begin with the idea of each of those squares being a decade, 10 years of your counting. And thus you can see that what it tells you by the blue line that exists on the side where the male is indicated is that, for simplicity's sake, it covers 4 squares. And thus you can say that in the present incarnation, this individual is age 40 years. So that tells you immediately you are dealing with a male individual, a male incarnation, 40 years of age in its present incarnation, in the reality in which it exists on earth. Now you can see, however, that farther away, above and to the left, a longer black line. Because this black line starts 2 squares above the present incarnation line, the side line, which represents the lifespan in present incarnation, because it starts 2 squares above, that basically is an indication that that particular incarnation was born 20 years after the present lifespan of this person, and extends for 100 years into the future, upline as we say. So that incarnation is male because it's on the left side, and extends for 100-year lifespan. While lower on the right you can see an example of what you would call a past life, downline we say, because it's all simultaneous, of a female that was born 130 of your years before the present lifespan of this male, but died 60 years before the present lifespan of this male was born. Thus then, this female lived a life of 70 years and is in relation to the present life in what you call the past on the female side. Now, if any of these lines had crossed into the sideline area represented by that band across the center from left to right, which represents the lifespan, the current lifespan of the present individual that we are doing the chart for, then that would mean that that life was actually being lived concurrently with the present life, would be what is called, partly at least, a counterpart. Because a soul can have incarnations in the same time frame, more than one. And that is how it would be represented on this chart, as overlapping the present lifespan band, the sideline band, to be understood to be incarnated concurrently, at least to some degree. And if this being had been, again, other than an earth being, then these lines would have extended out, would have been placed out in the outer rings. But what this shows you here is a variety of things and relationships that exist between these incarnations. And it can get much more complex than this. Again, we are only showing you a very simple slice of this idea, of this technique. And many of our charts may even show dozens, some even hundreds of these lifelines, what we call pinpoints, for it is a pin chart. So any particular life we call a pinpoint. But they stretch into these lines representing timelines. What we say upline, downline, what you call future and past, what you call the lifespan. Many of these charts can be filled with these lines. Many of them can overlap in a variety of ways. And this tells us a lot about exactly what the Oversoul is doing of this particular group of beings and how it is expressing itself along these different timelines. And it allows us to understand the relationship between all these different incarnations. And it tells us a lot about the energy of that Oversoul that all these lives are connected to. So we use these kinds of charts to determine these things as we perceive these incarnations. And it again can become much more layered even than this that you're seeing here, which is only representative of a slice. For you can stack these pin charts on top of one another, and this can represent the idea of even different parallel time streams altogether. In other words, alternate realities, alternate versions of this individual, alternate realities, alternate Earths, different experiences, different incarnations, even on alternate Earths. And so these pin charts can become three-dimensional, fourth-dimensional, fifth-dimensional. They can become, in that sense, very multi-layered. Now then, we do not use, in our upline time frame, of course, paper and pen, or even flat electronic pads as you do to represent these things. No. We have in our time frame what we call nanoglass, nanocubes. For it is, if you imagine a cube of clear glass, or what would appear to you to be clear glass, a cube. And they can be of varying sizes, but most commonly they will be about a foot or two on each side. And in these nanoglass cubes, they are the equivalent of what you would recognize in your time frame as a computer. And in these transparent cubes do appear these pin charts in all their full 3-, 4th-, and 5th dimensional glory, for us to be able to view from all sides and all angles and understand the relationships between the simultaneous incarnations that may occur in any one particular alternate timeline, any one particular alternate reality version, and also all of them together, and thus then give us a complete understanding of all the different simultaneous incarnations that the Oversoul may be extending from itself. And this is why these were originally called in the old lexicon Oversoul vector diagrams, which we have now streamlined in our time frame into pin charts. So you can begin to understand from this simple explanation how we, in the 33rd parallel, the team of 33, how all the cryptics can begin to view all these different parallel incarnations. And this is another ability that we have. For it is that many people, many beings will come to us because we have the ability to perceive in all these different parallel reality dimensions and alternate realities. We have the ability to trace, track, and perceive these alternate incarnations of any individual. And thus then it is uniquely our talent to form these pin charts for different individuals who come seeking this information from us. This is what we do. This is our calling. This is our nature. This is our ability. This is who we are. In time, you may be introduced to a few others of my team in the 33rd parallel. But for now, I will be the one that will come through more often than not, although I have been told that my mentor, Holly Cotton, may from time to time also put a word in or two. in my time frame, in what I refer to as my own personal sideline. Holly, in your terms of counting, is about 150 of your years old. I came into this and found her in that way many, many years ago, though I am, in your terms of counting, still relatively young. But you'll find, synchronistically enough, that I am 33. And this timing is one of the reasons why the synchronicity has now occurred in your year of 2013, in your downline time frame, that you ken it to be the year of transformation, why these connections can now occur, why your minds and your neurology have been prepared sufficiently to receive these kinds of informations, these kinds of downloads from us and others. For there are no accidents in timing, it is all an orchestration. And a beautiful song and symphony it is to our ears and our senses that we get to play with you in this way, at this timing, my cookies. For you're all little bits of information, little sweet bites in a variety of ways, and so, cookies you are. There will be many other kinds of ideas that we will share with you along these lines of learning how to apply the concept of beginning to perceive and recognize that you are shifting through parallel realities all the time to create the side effect you call time. And we will be sharing many more ways you can apply this information in your life. For now, we will let you absorb what has been given, and we will turn the transmission back to the Bashar. But we are very, very happy to have met you all, and to be introduced in this way, and to share with our kith and kin in this way with you downline. And we thank you for expanding our reality and our perceptions and allowing us our nature and to interact with your nature in this way. For we are, in that sense, truly family, being of the same world and being extensions of each other in many ways through the oversoul vectors that we have now just discussed with you. And remember that I am, in my physiology, of two hearts. For this is also one of my, what you would call in your lexicon, nicknames. Many people in my world not only call me a cryptic, but they call me Willa Two Hearts. So my both hearts are beating now with love for you all. So double love to you all. And we thank you and turn back the transmission to the Bashar. Blessings and sharings to you all. There will be many more transmissions from Willa and her kin in the 33rd parallel, and there will be more discussions of this idea of parallel realities and how to apply these ideas practically, effectively, in your understanding of reality, in your incarnation, your pinpoint. And this can be the subject of the continuation of many of the questions and answers that will happen in this transmission this day of your time, in the live interactions that we will undertake with you after this particular recorded session. But we wanted to lay the foundation and allow Willa herself to lay out these lines for you, because not only is it about the information she has delivered to you in this way, through the channel vocally, it is not only about the information she has delivered in this way, through the diagrams and charts that you have been shown and handed physically this day of your time, so that you will have your own copy of this chart to take with you, to look at, to absorb, to study. But it is also about her particular vibrational energy, her particular frequency that you are also absorbing, because it will, in that sense, draw you like a magnet to your compass needle into that particular frequency that represents the reality stream, the parallel reality stream of her existence. like a marker, like a guidepost, like a lighthouse, like a beacon, specifically along that corridor of parallel realities toward that particular future, or as Willa would say, upline existence. And thus then it gives you a homing beacon to stay within that frequency that Willa has imparted to all of you, in conjunction with the frequencies that we have imparted to all of you, blending together in a hybridized way, and in itself becoming more capable of allowing you to become more receptive to the vibrations of her cryptic nature, her shape-shifting nature, so that even though you may not shift in the way that Willa does, you can allow for more superconductivity and hyperconductivity of energy flow in all directions within you to allow you to shift through your parallel reality streams of choice in your theme of exploration in ways that are far more effortless, smoother, so that you blend and harmonize and accelerate and experience more and more of your total selves. One moment. Later in your terms of time, there will be a meditation given in conjunction with the holotope that will specifically be designed as a vortex meditation to aid and assist you in amplifying, magnifying, and aligning and harmonizing with the vibrations of the vortex you are now immersed in, the bubble reality you are now experiencing with this transmission. And at that time, I will also aid and assist in directing your consciousness to some of the other vortices nearby that the Sedona vortex is linked with and connected to, for purposes of allowing you to begin to experience some of the alternate shifting patterns that are possible within this bubble reality and magnifications that can occur within your consciousness and perceptions that can come to you along these lines. But that will be then. In a different now than this now. In this now, we will simply allow you to absorb what has been given, knowing that you are being, by your very own choice, at your very own pace, in your very own way and your very own style, rewiring yourselves to allow these energies to flow along those neurological pathways more easily, more effortlessly, more harmoniously, with more blending, more holistically, less segregation, more integration, more love, more joy. So breathe all of it in, and with every exhalation know that you are shifting, shifting, shifting into the vibrations of the 33rd parallel to whatever extent Willa and her team will help guide you, to whatever degree is appropriate for you to absorb that energy information and make it your own for your own applications and purposes in the theme of exploration that you chose as this particular pinpoint incarnation, here and now, as a vector of your oversoul, in concert and orchestration with all the other vectors simultaneously, here and now. You may now take a short break, after which we will create a transmission between us to allow for the exchange of further information, questions and answers along these lines of the 33rd parallel. We thank you. Take your break.
So if everyone would take their seats, we'll go ahead and start with the second part of our adventure. You know, honestly, I have to tell you all that when I stand here and I see so many people, kind of crammed together in a little space in this room, and, this room has just fabulous energy, and our location has incredible energy, and we know that Bashar is up there enjoying this whole experience. I mean, it is kind of cool, isn't he? He's like up there and like talking through Darryl here. But it seems like a fantasy come true, that so many people who enjoy Bashar's information and are on board for moving to the next phase of our experience where we have contact with other civilizations and other consciousnesses. And it's just a real privilege to be with all of you and to experience this together. I feel like we're all just one big family, one big galactic family. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to show you little bits of information about a new thing that Bashar has been doing. This is really like a collaboration that he's been doing with me, of creating a series of guided meditations that we go to certain locations or interact with certain beings in order to experience the full breadth of what is possible and receive information, downloads, and essentially go through life-transforming experience. And recently I've been doing workshops that are called Cetacean Transformation in Hawaii, where we swim with dolphins every day. And every morning we do a guided meditation, and every evening we do a guided meditation. And by the end of the week, you truly experience a whole different level of existence that is, I guess you would say, a combination of the cetacean energy that's been brought to you, the energy of Bashar that he's given to us through the guided meditations, and also myself as facilitating the experience, and the group themselves, because everyone in the group, of course, brings energy, and by the time it's all done, everyone has just changed very dramatically and knows how to experience deeper and deeper levels of ecstasy and well-being on planet Earth. So it is truly bringing heaven to Earth. So we'd like to show you some scenes from Cetacean Transformation. The next one will be scheduled in October, and if you're interested, you can contact us at april@dolphindreamsofhawaii.com, or you can find it also on the bashar.org website. This particular video also, that group were lucky enough to experience the first day 500 dolphins came, and they were totally in celebration mode. I mean, they were leaping, they were spinning, they were interacting with people. It was truly like being in the middle of a giant dolphin celebration. And that was our welcome on the first day. And we also experienced a new dolphin that we hadn't seen before, which was a rough-toothed dolphin came and visited us, which is also a very rare occurrence. So I'll turn this over to Emmy and her wonderful music and give you a taste of Cetacean Transformation.
Will you swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean with me. Oh yes, swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean with me. Together we'll play, our distant lands won't seem so far away. You'll be close to me when we share the water of the same sea. How much closer we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. May our hearts beat together by the same rays of sunlight and breathe. And when night falls upon us, by the same stars above, we'll dream. Whoa, though miles apart, we flow together like the beat of just one heart. The same air we'll breathe from different lands that share the same sea. How much closer we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean.
Though there may be many islands of land, there is only one ocean that surrounds them all. And the dolphins and the whales are connected to all places because they know it is all one sea, one ocean, one world.
We flow together like the beat of just one heart. And you feel close to me when we share the water of the same sea. Oh, how happy we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. The same, swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean. The same, swim in the same ocean, swim in the same ocean.
So that was our February group, and Bridget was part of that group. Who else is here that was part of the cetacean transformation? Shiva and Victoria. Anyone else? And other people that, no, and even other groups that have gone. And so the only thing I can share with you is that if you want to prepare for ET contact, there's nothing like that experience of looking into the eye of a dolphin or a whale and having that communication experience of knowing what it's like to understand another species. So we invite you to join us for that. And the second thing we wanted to share with you was the from the whale trip that we did in the Dominican Republic this year, I spent 2 weeks with the whales, the humpback whales that migrate from North America down to the Caribbean in an area called the Silverbanks. And we actually get in the water with the whales and have close encounters, sometimes as close as 6 to 7 feet away from a whale. And there are a number of people here. I know Debbie and Patrick is here that have also experienced this. Our group was fortunate enough to have a whale that likes to sleep on her back. And she's the only whale that does that. I actually met this whale in 2003, and she was back again this year, and she had a baby. And it was absolutely magical and amazing to be with her. And at one point, after she turned over from sleeping and she came up, she faced our group with her baby tucked under her pec fin, and the two of them head on, we were about 10 feet, and stared at us for at least a minute. We just sat there and engaged. And it was truly a very, very powerful experience. And I think we're all still processing what happened to us that day and where did we go and what's happening next. So it was truly a wondrous, amazing experience. And there are 5 places available next year, and that will be in the end of March, early April. So if you're interested, please let us know and we'll give you some more information. So I'll turn it over to you, Emmy. Well, I'm so glad you all love that. I love it too. And so, of course, we invite you to find out more about that trip. And then finally, we have another trip this summer in Mount Shasta, and we'll have more details soon, but it will be mid-July. and that will probably be somewhere like 5 days or something like that. Bashar has created guided meditations to help you integrate with nature and experience the wonders of all the information that's being shared by the animals and the plants on our planet that most humans are just not aware of are going on. And so that's going to be another exciting trip. And finally, tonight, Bashar has pre-recorded a guided meditation, and this is a contact meditation. And when we were in the Dominican Republic on the boat, at night, under the stars, we had our first ET contact meditation that Bashar had created, and I think as many of the people that were there can tell you, it was truly a deeply mind-altering experience. And the one that he has created tonight specifically for Sedona, because he's here and he's above us, will knock your socks off. That's all I can tell you, because it is truly amazing, and you will experience a type of contact that you previously may not have ever encountered. So we would love to invite you to join us tonight. It will start at 9 o'clock, and it will be in the labyrinth, which Bashar actually helped Michael create in terms of the dimensions and everything. So we invite you to enjoy the contact meditation tonight also. And I think that's basically everything. I just, again, want to thank everyone for being here and joining us and having this accelerated experience with Bashar. And maybe Darryl will come back and do a little channeling.
Real quickly before I start again.
Questions about dearly departed, so you might want to.
Oh, questions about dearly departed. For those that don't know, another expression of following on my own excitement, which I guess I had better do so Bashar doesn't beat the crap out of me, is I'm a filmmaker. And recently, I was in the industry for quite a while as in special effects and storyboards and design and sets and things like that. But within the last few years, switched over to writing, producing, directing. And my production company, Zia Films, we recently completed our first feature film with me as writer-director called Dearly Departed. And what it is a fictional documentary that we shot as if we actually took a camera into the spirit world and interviewed the spirits of the dead to get their take on life after death. And so if anyone is interested in seeing that, it is on DVD and available on our website, ziafilms.com. So by all means, please come check that out. I would really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And now we're in the process of making a Bashar documentary. So that I think will be very exciting as well. So I think that's it, and we're ready to go, right? Nothing else. And I guess if there were questions left over from last time, Bashar will probably continue with that, and if for some reason we run out of that, we can draw a few more until we're doing the holotope. At the end, yes. There's a holotope, yeah. Okay. All right, well, once again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And have fun, and I'll see you again at the end. Oh, cell phones off. I'm the only phone turned on here today. will say, let us continue the transmission in the following way. Well, first of all, since you are all banding about cell phone humor, you may often turn your phones to vibrate. We turn ours to high vibration. Let us continue with interactions of questions and answers.
So those of you that had your names called earlier, would you like to come and take the hot seat?
Not too hot.
You're not going to turn the heat up on us?
Oh, I may.